the final group game for Nigeria will be played on Sunday against Algeria. As I said, they currently stand second in the group with 4 points from their 2 games. But what do we expect to be the starting lineup? Would there be any changes? He may not change. Madugu may not change anything, but honestly, based on that Botswana performance, I think he needs to ring some changes. I will leave the back line and goalkeeper exactly the same. Start with Nadozie, play Ohale, Demehi, Plumter, and Alozie. However, we now know that Abiodun will be suspended, so I expect Uchebe to come into the middle of the park and play alongside Halima to Ayinde. I would hopefully then like to see either... Me personally, I want to see Ejigini play as the number 10. But we know the way the manager has been moving, that he may just persist with Ajibade in that camp position. Although it must be said, Ajibade was also voted as player of the game for some of her good play in this game, despite some wayward crosses. So let's see who ends up playing that camp position. I personally think it's time to put Oshoala on the bench. She did well coming off the bench in the World Cup, Let Ihezuo play. She has scored twice now coming off the bench in 2 games. I mean, that shows a woman that is prepared to take her opportunity. So I want to see more of that, And then we'll see Winsola Babajide probably start. But I'll also like to see Okoronkwo start because Okoronkwo just looks decisive whenever she plays. If there's a way to fit in Echegini, Okoronkwo, and Ihezuo in this game while also getting Ajibade into the team, I'd love to see that. But anyway, it's Magudo's headache. So let's see what happens in this game. It might be a chance to make changes, but remember, we still need to at least draw this game to seal top spot because we do not want to finish second in this group by any means necessary. So look out for that one, and then let's see what happens in terms of our quarterfinal fixture. As for our opponents, Algeria are likely to sit deep in a compact 4-2-3-1, defend the numbers and look to hit on the counter. They've not been the highest scoring team that we've seen in the tournament so far. They drew their second game 0-0 and beat Botswana 1-0, so they've only scored 1 goal so far. So there's definitely room for improvement, but I think they'll definitely respect the Super Falcons and try to hit us on the counter using their pace and midfield creativity. Players to watch, they've got a player called Guthia Karchuni, their number 10. She plays for Servette Geneva in Switzerland and just left Inter Milan. Creative engine dictates play from midfield or defense and scored their only goal so far in the tournament, so definitely their star player. They've got a player called Ines Boutaleb who plays for Metz in France. Central striker, pacey, tricky, and always looking to get behind the defense. They've also got Lina Busaha, who also plays for Al Nassr, but looks to be moving to Al Ittihad in Saudi. Wide playmaker, technical, unpredictable, and a threat on the left. And then finally, they've got Marine Dafur, who plays in midfield. She plays for FC Fleury in France, breaks up play and controls the tempo in transition. So we should expect Algeria to absorb pressure, stay compact, and try to frustrate the Super Falcons while relying on individual moments of quality in the transition. They may likely try to play like Botswana and try and frustrate the Super Falcons and sit deep. However, because it's a game they probably need to win or at least draw, because if they don't draw, if they lose, there's a world where Tunisia could then overtake them depending on how well we beat Algeria. So they can't afford to sit deep and just hope for the best. So let's see what happens in this game. My score predictions, I hope the Super Falcons have learned their lessons, so I'm predicting a 2-0 win for the Super Falcons against Algeria. Look, when a tournament starts, you know who's on form. So I'm just going to say Ihezuo and Esther Okoronkwo are going to score the goals. So if it's not one of those two, it will be Echegini. Those 3 seem like shining lights at the moment in terms of attacking play. So I expect 2 of those 3 or 1 to get our 2 goals in this game.